Namaste. My name is Uday Murthy and I'm a local resident. Okay. I'm taking with Sanjay ji and Kumar ji Dave. I'm in the Antaranga Yoga class. And when I took that, my understanding was entirely different than what the course was. And the really nice of that is it follows through some of the famous characters from Mahabharata thing. And to find out, to introspect yourself. So it's not when you see yoga, one of the first thing that comes to your mind is maybe you're doing asanas or something else like that. So in this course, there's no asana here. It's more of the other part of the yoga where you introspect yourself. You look into yourself to see, you look at the character, for example, Yudhishthira, and look at his characteristics and introspect yourself, focus on yourself and figure out what characteristics you have that is comparing to Yudhishthira, and when does the Yudhishthira inside you, or Arjuna inside you, or Bhima inside you come up? When do you see it inside you, and how do you do that? How do you bring those good qualities out of you to do that? So it's been going really well. It's a 1.5 hour class per week, and usually Wednesday evenings, and it's homework is not that much at all. That people talk about homework and stuff. It's not much at all. Is that just the week before you're given what is the next character you're analyzing, and you have to spend however long you want to just reading about that character and trying to find the qualities inside you that match that character, or when does those qualities come to you. So it's a really for those people who really would. For me, it kind of always interested me. I would tell my kids about, as we read these stories about Arjuna or other Mahabharata, Ramayana characters to my kids, we would always encourage them to develop those characters, their characteristics. So it was really good to figure out what do I have that compares to them, and how do I bring them out? How did Yudhishthira handle anger, or how does Arjuna handle anger? Or different emotions, and how can we handle it better than what we do now. So it's a really good course. There are almost around 18 or 20 people in that class, and it's amazing how you hear about each other and their versions of that. So it's a really good class to take. I encourage everybody to take that class. Thank you.
Namaste, my name is Sushmita, and I take the Orientation to Hindu Studies, which is a 1 credit course. 1 credit means there is 1 hour lecture every week, and we are provided quite a bit of reading material for each lecture, which is very much in depth, and we are supposed to come prepared having read the material. And the class is led by Kalyanji mostly, and then he invites some guest lectures also. It is a very engaging class. There's never a dull moment. And as Kalyanji pointed out, that there are a lot of people out there who think they know everything about Hindu Dharma. Luckily, I'm not one of them. So I knew when I joined the class, I knew nothing. That I don't know as much as I should know about Hindu Dharma, and there is so much out there. But after joining the class, that kind of opened my eyes to there is really so much more out there about this Dharma that I don't know. The only thing that I can say, I feel whenever the lecture is done, one thing I'm thankful for is that I know that my kids and people in my family will have this golden opportunity to learn Hindu Dharma in a methodical way. And I'm thankful for that. Up until I joined this course, I did have a lot of anxious moments as to what will happen to the future of my family. Who will ever teach them in a methodical way? Now I'm not anxious about that. Dhanyawad.
My name is Manish Srivastav, and I'm taking the course of Holistic Yoga Concept and Techniques. It's a 2 hours course. Actually, it's going to happen in the next couple of hours, every Sunday from 7 to 9. The reason I took this course is we volunteer in our Shakha to teach yoga. And yoga was all about techniques and asanas and all those stuff. But I go back to Kalyanji's thing is, it was just I was not able to answer questions that I was getting from my students, whether it was the Taruns or the kids who are interested in that. And this course is helping me unravel the holistic nature of the yoga, which is beyond asanas, is what the thought, your approach, your philosophy, your dharma, all that comes about yoga, and not the Western narrative of what the yoga is about, the commercialization, the exercise part or the asanas part of it. This is making me a better yoga discipline and helping me understand not just the yoga as a technique, but also the context behind that, the scriptures behind that, so that I can become a better yoga student. That's the better way. The good thing about this course is, as Kalyanji said, every week we have a very different teacher who comes and teaches us who is very disciplined and very structured. We have a 1 hour out of the 2 hours, we have first hour of very theory about what that topic is. And then the next hour, we do actually the pranayams, the yoga asanas and things like that, which it gives me a very complete picture of the yoga. That's what the intention was. So now it has interested me to go to the next topics and make my knowledge about our Hinduism much more diverse and not just rely on the narratives. So far, I think I kind of relied on what Kalyanji was saying was, our knowledge of Hinduism is more on the rituals and the traditions past, and now the foundations that our forefathers have talked about. And this is one avenue that gives you that the window to get to that. So that's my 2 cents about it.
Nagarajan. Anil and me both enrolled into the Sanskrit MA program early this year. In June semester we started, so we are doing a 2-year MA Master's Certificate program in Sanskrit. So when we say Sanskrit, we immediately think, okay, so these people must be learning a lot of Sanskrit grammar, so they should be able to understand the Sanskrit text and Bhagavad Gita and the philosophical text and all that. To me, being an engineer and coming from a science kind of background, the science part in our Shastras, that is very fascinating. And when I started learning yoga here to become a yoga teacher, and I also studied Ayurveda, and I always wondered, why did I not learn about like the Nyaya Shastra or the Sankhya and all those in my school curriculum? Or that was something that was totally missing. But then learning Nyaya Shastra in Sanskrit from the Gautama Sutras, not from some other book that was written, translated in English or something like that. That is something very, very valuable. And I think to me what that means is we getting to learn directly from the acharyas, like how Anilji mentioned, in Sanskrit. And of course there are some students who are still like need the translation, and the acharyas are so flexible, and they do speak in English and make it understandable for everybody. And what that does is that makes the original text comprehensible to us, like our generation. It's not like some Swamiji sitting and giving a lecture and we just hear and we come back home. It's not that, but the assignments that go with those are like, for example, like the Nyaya Shastra. We get assignments like write some example for the different types of hetus, different types of reasoning. So I can totally relate that to my workplace or something else that we do in a current day world. And I can totally explain those to my, like the kids and the students and the next generation and all that. So I see that as a connection between our ancestors and our tradition to the future generations. So that is what makes it very valuable to me, and we need to keep enrolling into these courses so that we engage those acharyas and hold that knowledge. We don't lose that. We keep propagating that to our future generations. I feel that that is part of our dharma, and we all do our little bit. That's my...
Dr. Vimal Patel and Dr. Chandra Reddy for both being co-conspirators in this venture, and I would like to invite them to say a few words. I mean, should.
We are seniors, so we okay.
Vimalji said he didn't want to say anything, but we'll have them say something.
I think my colleagues and our collaborators have enumerated how they got interested, right? So one of the really most important thing for all of us, see, I'm 80 years old, right? So there are, how many of you are here more than 60 or 70? So it is never too late. So that course that all of us are mentioning, at least 2 or 3 of them, the orientation to Hindu studies is an eye-opening course. I don't want to reveal the secret, because once you take it, you will not be able to stop the further course afterward. So what I have done, after taking the first course, I've signed up for MA PhD program. I have 2 PhD, 4-year fellowship. Now I am going to do a real study. So, Girdharji, you are next. See, you are a little older than me. Anyways, but it is so excellent. Even if you can take one course, please, just one course, that will really invoke the hidden energies that you have for our own Sanskriti. It will come alive. Just one course. If you want to really live, that I have that fire, how do I invoke that fire? We all have that fire. Somebody has to spark it. And I can say without any reservation, Kalyanji was that man who sparked that in us. I can tell you that for last several weeks we have been traveling throughout the United States. Before he came to Indianapolis, see his commitment and his engagement to bring about Hindu Sanskriti in our midst is phenomenal. See, he actually works, or more or less, 24 hours we are dreaming. We are not dreaming anything else. How can we make this Hindu university come alive? And for last about 10, 12 days, we were in California for a whole week. We have been traveling here. From here, he will do that in Dallas and so on, Houston and so on. We are all going together to make our Hindu community aware of it. Once you really take one course, they will talk about it. I don't think, all of us are ambassadors of our culture. So far we were able to articulate properly. Once you have taken that course, now you can really engage with anybody and put it in a way that they cannot refute. That is your Hindu university. This is our university. This isn't mine or yours. It's our university. And we all have to participate in some fashion. Because, my ego was so shattered. I thought I knew Hinduism because I have been working at it for a long time. See, I started first Balagokulam when my kids were born in 1976. That later on turned into Gita Mandal. And that Gita Mandal, you see what we are sitting here. So, despite all that, I thought I knew something. But what I didn't know that. And it turns out that I do not know much of it than what I knew. So you will discover quickly what you don't know. Then you can search for it. So let's go and search for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Namaste, my name is Chandra Reddy. I am a medical hematology oncologist. I am not as old as Vimalji, but also not as wise as Vimalji. My introduction to HUA is through Vimalji, and my interest has been in the spirituality for last 15 years. Then over the reading and studying all the scriptures, I realized that I belong to a limited edition in both generations as well as the reading the scriptures. How do I say that limited edition? We, the parents in my age group, we used to listen to our parents and grandparents yes mother, yes grandmother, will do what you say. Now, my kids, I have 3 kids and 5 grandkids, and we are listening to them. They are not listening to us. So we listen to them, now we are listening to them, so we are the limited edition. And in other way, as far as the studies is concerned, we are also limited edition. The reason is that we were told the Mahabharata, Ramayana on streets and temples, and we read, through the Purana, through the scriptures. And that was authentic knowledge, whatever that is their sampradaya. Now, we are being told what are our scriptures through the Indologist, Western Indologist. Whatever they are telling, we are believing it. And that's also, in that case, we are limited edition. So my interest into this HUA sparked because this HUA is established on the principles of the knowledge, which the culture, Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma, is a knowledge-based. Knowledge-based. All other religions are faith-based. Today you must have heard the Swamiji this morning, Shraddha. There is no equivalent word. There is no equivalent word for Shraddha in English or any other language. Shraddha is much more connotations in the Sanskrit language. So in that case, what I did that one when I was reading, when I registered for Hindu studies in the beginning, it opened up my eye, what you call it, Jnana Netra. How deep our knowledge is there. So we enjoyed every minute of that. Then it motivated me to register to the Mahabharata one. Now it is motivated to register the next one in Sanskrit classes, which are going to be started in April. So I think knowledge is the key for anything. Do we have to wait till 80 years or 65 years, which I am old, 65 years old now? I think it is very important to impart this knowledge and encourage not only our generation, but the next generation, because you all know, then the plant when it's growing up, and we have to water the plant, we can bend it, blend it, according to whatever the knowledge is. I think that's important, that we need to start right from the beginning, and that the purified language, most analytical one, that great teachers, which Vishwanathji told, that, like the Adluri, he got the award. There are many good teachers on that one. And then the knowledge that you get it, you will get goosebumps when you are listening to the true knowledge, the hidden in our scriptures. Mahabharata, Ramayana, every character, every name has a meaning, and then you can enliven that the same character with your life, not only for you, for your kids also. I encourage all of you to register at least. You support any way you want, and you register, you encourage your friends, relatives, your kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So before we wrap up, I would like to introduce someone here who is very special to us. Ramanathan Mahodaya has come all the way from Dayton, and he and his brother, you can say, I don't know how old he is. I don't have the courage to ask him how old he is. But we have been learning Sanskritam for several years, and we always find so much energy that if these people can continue to learn at this age, keep writing exams. Those exams you have to write for 3 hours, right? That one. Why not we continue? So everyone, why not we continue? It is about discovering ourselves. I'll have him say a few words.
They are our teachers.
No.
Like Dakshinamurti Sota. Guru Yuva, Vriddha Shishya. Myself and my brother and others. They wake up early in the morning, they have small children, and we are excited and we are stimulated because of their energy. I don't learn language well, I struggle, but we won't give up. And thanks to the teachers. Thank you for the initiative. I'm hoping to explore some classes, and I still feel like young parents should answer their children's questions. Hindu children born in America, I remember my childhood, we didn't ask questions. Here they want to know answer for everything. And we should Usually we get irritated and short-tempered, but we should patiently answer. And I think the university will help young parents to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we in the university, we want to promote this concept of lifelong learning. Lifelong, meaning you never stop. You know, there never comes a time when you say that, I know. Right? Yeah, let me ask you a little quiz question, okay? If you go to Google and you type a statement, a question in Google, how many Sanskrit manuscripts are there, question mark, in the world? How many Sanskrit manuscripts are there in the world, question mark? If you type that in Google, what will Google say? What number will it give you? Some of the Sanskrit experts should give me a number. Yeah?
We don't know what it will say, but it's definitely more than lakhs. You know, that many number of manuscripts.
Okay, you're going to give me a number, okay. Lakh, 1 lakh? 1 lakh is 100,000.
More than that.
Okay, how many? How much more?
110,000.
110,000. Okay. 100. We have one answer. 110,000. Huh? Any other guesses? Any other guesses?
Millions.
Millions. How many millions? Huh? 16 million. Okay. Any other guesses?
11 million.
11 million. 11 million. Guessing. Okay, good. All right, so here's the answer, okay? If you should go home and try this out. Just go home, go to Google, just say how many Sanskrit manuscripts are there? And you'll find that Google says 30 million.
30 million.
30 million. Google says that. Maybe Sundar Pichai is out of his mind. We don't know, right? But obviously there are many millions of Sanskrit manuscripts. Okay? Obviously, our ancestors were kind of busy. They were kind of busy. They were not just doing puja and Havan and Homa and Abhisheka and Arti and all that. They were writing a lot. They were composing. They were writing. You know? And I think ultimately the university will fulfill itself when it begins to generate new writings, new conversations, the Hindu voice to express itself newly. You know, see, consider this. The ritualization of Hinduism has silenced us to a large extent. It has silenced us in terms of our speech, in terms of our writing. We neither write nor speak. And when your children ask you, what about this? Why does Ganesha have elephant's trunk? You know, why do our Hindu gods have 4, 5, 6, 8 arms? We don't know. You know, and you know, when we get irritated, like somebody was saying, inadvertently you introduce a seed of doubt in the child's mind, and then you know it just kind of leads to the thought that this is anthropologically primitive, ancient, and has long ago been superseded, and our parents are idiots because they don't know that they have been superseded already. They're still holding on to things that ought to have been long ago dead and gone. Okay. Now, with that, I want to just restate that if you haven't yet signed up, please go ahead and sign up. Okay. How many of you actually filled out this form? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I encourage you to do it. Okay, because then you'll start receiving emails from HUA, and you can start to participate. Otherwise, of course, you can sidestep the HUA entirely, and it'll be done. Nothing will happen after that. Last but not the least, I want to thank you all for listening and participating and engaging with this conversation, and spending your time, your valuable time with us today. We don't take it lightly that you took a big chunk of your time, which is the most precious commodity nowadays, and shared that time with us this afternoon. So thank you very, very, very much. Namaste, and I look forward to seeing you another time.